Okay, guys, I got some treasure stories. I got a few, and I'm gonna begin the show with the pirate treasure. It says a pirate, always a pirate, something like that. Anyways, about 5 years ago, uh, I was working on my boat down at the marina, and this guy I know that he does boat repairs. We just kind of chit chatting and this and that, and he was telling me this story that happened down in Mexico. He knew this old guy, very old guy, that died in his arms. And before he died, he confessed to something he did during the Mexican Revolution. Um, the guy died not recently because if he was in his 90s, the Mexican Revolution happened uh, around 1919, I think it was, or 1915. Must have been almost 100. Anyways, he confessed to him that during the war, the Revolution War against the Federales and that political mess that they had down there, he was with Pancho Villa, and there were different generals. You got Emiliano Zapata, and you had Pancho Villa, and you had several other guys. And they would go into. They took it upon themselves. I'm not going to say it was under orders of anybody in particular, but they took it upon themselves to go into this town, this small village, and they needed money. So they went into the church and they stole the all the golden ornaments that they had in the church, and the cross, the gold cup, um, for the baptism, and a few things that they had in the church. This is a village. It's not a palace. It's not a big church. It's just a small church. So they stole that, but then apparently it wasn't enough. They climbed up to the tower and disconnected the bell. They had a big church bell, and they took that too. Now the bell is supposed to be from the 1700s, so the bell has some historical value. Uh, the bells, I believe they're made with bronze and a mix of metals, but it's mostly bronze. And they took it to this uh, area and they buried it. Apparently, they couldn't do anything with the bell. They couldn't sell it or anything. It wasn't really worth anything because bronze doesn't really have that much value. Maybe back then it didn't. I don't know about now. But anyways, they did use the gold for what they wanted. But the bell's been sitting there for many years. It turns out that, and he told him where it was buried. It's next to a well, so many steps from the well, at a certain degree in the compass. And it turns out that this well is in the property of his ex. It's a small ranch. Um, so I'm imagining that the person that confessed was a relative, probably the great grandfather or grandfather, I don't know. It was a relative of that person there, and he died when he was still married with the lady. He died there, and he confessed that the bill was buried outside. So I told this guy, well, listen, I have a metal detector. Let's go to Mexico and He goes, no, no, no. I have a very bad relationship with my ex, and I don't want to see her. She doesn't want to see me, and uh, and they don't want me around. So apparently, they probably also buried that gold because um, even though these people were mostly they were half revolutionaries and half bandits. They took advantage of the situation and they broke in the church. But the Mexicans are very religious, and it would be sacrilege to steal that. So they noticed that they made a mistake stealing from the church, and they probably buried the gold with it because who are you going to sell it to? Everybody's poor. So it don't matter if you have a golden cup, solid gold, and you're going to go into another village, and who are you going to sell it to? Nobody has the money, especially back in the 19s, 1919s. So to get that gold sold, you would have to go and talk to a rich person or somebody from out of the country. They didn't have the means to do that. So I got a feeling that that gold, that the ornaments, the cups and the cross and all that, it's probably buried with the bell because of the circumstances of that age. They did take coins, money, and they probably expended on whatever, maybe guns or maybe tequila, who knows. But these people were really, really dirt poor. So when they stole it, they probably said, "Hey, listen, now what are we gonna do? We can't really get rid of it. We can't confess to it. We're gonna go to jail forever, or probably get shot." If the generals find out, Zapata was very strict. Pancho Villa was a bandit, but he was probably also, you have to have rules in an army. Can't just let people do what they want. So he will probably have him shot. The and if you go into the city and you say, "Look, I got this golden cross or this cup, I want to sell it," they're gonna ask you, "Where'd you get it? And how is it that you have this item that belongs to the church?" So that stuff is buried. I have a deep feeling that it's buried inside the bell in a little burlap bag, and it's sitting there. And he told me where it was at. He told me the name of the town. I don't remember because that was a few years ago. And I haven't seen him in 3 years. So one time I did see him and I said, "Let's go, Mexico." He was kind of smiling, but he knew what I meant. But that bell is probably there. And it's going to be there for years unless he has make the decision to go and tell the wife and say, "Listen, this thing is out there. Your grandfather told me, or whoever, great grandfather. I want to dig it out and go half on the gold or return the church." This church is from the 1700s. Can you imagine? I mean, and they said they buried it within down to 3 to 4 feet. And he said it wasn't a little bell. It was a good sized bell. Don't remember the name of the town or the city where it was. It's probably a city now. But there's a lot of stuff in Mexico buried. So that's it. That's it for the story. So I'll see you on the next one.